And welcome back to News Hour. Now tonight we promised to host on the round table former Defense Cabinet Secretary. He also worked in the Ministry of Devolution and is now the leader of DAP Kenya, a political party. He joins us on the round table. Thank you so much for coming. Okay. So much to talk about tonight. I don't even know where to start, but let me start with the latest. Yes. It looks like Azimio has suddenly taken a very hard stand once more on the government. Where is this energy coming from?
I think we've always had it. There was this belief that because Baba is going to Addis, that's the end of Azimio. It's not true. Mm-hmm. We have remained intact, and we will remain intact to fight for the people of Kenya.
Okay, yes. But it only looks like when Raila Odinga is back and speaking, that it looks like you have a lot of energy. Do you need Raila Odinga to back Azimio in order to put the government to check?
Not really. I mean, we have been doing this even while he was away. In fact, the only thing that surprised people was when he spoke strongly after a lull. You know, he's been quiet for a while because he's been busy, in his campaigns across the continent, meeting several presidents and lobbying for support for the AU chairmanship. But when he came back home and found everything was in a mess, the doctors' strike has been going on for weeks and, almost 2 months now. The floods, what's going on in Mathare, what happened in Kiamaiko, everything was just going wrong. You know, the mess in the education sector, it's a real disaster there. The mess in the health sector with what has been going on. All around, It's been a mess.
Is it coincidence? Because in politics they say there's no coincidence.
Yes.
Is it coincidence that he spoke on Thursday and today the doctor strike has been resolved? Is it coincidence or it was fashioned? It was something that was supposed to happen?
It's something that took too long.
56 days precisely?
Yes, that was too long. I know that it is something we all welcome as Kenyans because we know what has been happening. We've lost quite a number of lives. What we are focusing on now are the lives lost during the floods.
Right. Okay, floods.
And you're talking of about 200 and less than 300 lives have been lost.
But that's already according
to the figures from the government, which have not been verified. But when you look at the Kenyans who have died during these 56 days, this is something we're not being told. We do welcome the end of the strike. We do urge our doctors to go back to work within the next 24 hours. We need them. With these floods, there are a lot of waterborne diseases now. Mostly there are children who are suffering, women. And we need them out there with the cholera threat now.
Yeah.
If they don't come out and, hit the road running to save lives, we're going to lose many more lives because of this. But when we were given a figure, the first 30 days, we were given a conservative figure of 500 Kenyans who had lost their lives as a result of the doctor strike.
Really?
Now, with the extent to which it has gone up to 56 days, before we celebrate, this government owes it to Kenyans to tell them how many Kenyans lost lives.
We need an audit.
Yes, as a result of the dereliction of their duty. You know, instead of dealing with this matter seriously from day one, they were busy. Instead of meeting these doctors, they were meeting UDA officials to organize UDA elections. They're already thinking of 2027. Instead of applying their minds and efforts in this crisis that has faced the country, well, we are happy it's over. But still, it did not have to take this long. We did not have to lose so many lives when they were busy with a business as usual approach, going on with their conferences, globe-trotting, going on with their party elections, as Kenyans have been dying. It is something that
But the question is, because the imperative for the doctors and KMPD was the intern issues.
Yes.
Tonight we go to sleep with the strike resolved.
Yes.
However, the imperative has not been addressed. Now, the government took a stand about this imperative weeks ago. Yes. Told them, we'll give you everything. But we're in 2 weeks. That's 10 days minus 56 is 46 days,
Yes.
probably. The imperative was take everything, the 18 you're giving us, right? Take it away and give us this one, the intern issue. Yes. Tonight, we're going back to sleep. The intern issue has not been resolved, and the strike has been called off, meaning this thing should have been done 10 days ago.
It is a matter of negotiations.
So who do you blame in this? Because they have taken what they've been given.
The responsibility lies squarely with government.
But they've still taken what the government
could have
given.
been resolved much earlier.
Yes.
We are happy that it's over now. It's not a night for blame games. It is a time to save lives. Let them get back to work.
Someone has to take that fall, according to you.
It is the government that should take that responsibility.
Now, my question is, 10 days ago, at 46, if I'm not wrong, I know they watch a lot, so they'll correct me if I'm wrong. But let's assume it's 10 days ago. Because that night when they were given 18, Ms. Keller sat on this table and said, take all the 18 that we have resolved. Take it away from us, including what you owe us, 3 billion shillings. Give the doctors that 3 billion shillings. Take the 18. Moses Kuria sat here and said the same thing. We will not listen. We will not give you. 10 days ago, Wamalwa, this thing would have been resolved. But it took 10 days too long, and yet what they were calling for has not been given to them.
There must be an understanding. That's a question you'd ask them. I invite them here. But for now, please get back to work. Let us save lives.
Okay. And we're in a crisis. Tell me, Raila's journey, we'll talk about this at the top of the hour. Has it come to an end? Because there's a lot of speculation coming from the address in Mathare, if I'm not wrong, and what Majority Leader Ishungwa said, respect the people campaigning for you. So there's this say that Raila only came out because he knows his journey to AU is gone.
That's not correct.
It's no longer tenable.
Raila remains the leader of Azimio. He's still our leader. And until or unless he's elected to that office, which will be sometime in March or so in 2025, he does not stop being the leader of Azimio, being the leader of opposition, and discharging his duties of holding this government accountable. If they were thinking by offering support for that position, they are gagging Raila, they were dead wrong. You cannot buy Raila, you cannot gag Raila.
And you in Azimio can be gagged.
We cannot, and we cannot be.
You cannot be told keep quiet because we are supporting Raila Odinga.
And we can. I mean that will be blackmail. We cannot accept blackmail.
No, but take from the left. I mean, something has to give.
No,
rub my back, I rub yours.
It's not a bribe. It's just an obligation. You know, under international law, when
the president is obligated.
When a member state is having a candidate, they are obligated
by law,
give a clear indication in terms of whether they're objecting or not. It's a no objection.
But is it legal? Where is it enshrined? Where is it written?
It's an obligation under the AU. The member state must give the indication whether they object or they don't.
But not to support or not. They have to give that indication.
No, it's obligatory.
Yes, you have to.
Yes. So
President Ruto had to declare.
Once you have done that, you've done your duty.
Okay.
It's not really a favor. So if they're going to use that as Kenya Kwanza to blackmail Raila, to gag him,
it's not going to happen.
It is unacceptable, and it's not going to happen.
But don't you think, Kimani, as we finish, because we have the whole second half, a whole hour, but don't you think Kimani Ichung'wah, the majority leader, was right? That, please, we are supporting you. You need to respect your supporting authority, your chief campaigner in this.
Well, if they stop messing around, then Raila Odinga will not speak out. And if they stop messing around, look at the mess, like we're talking in the education sector. The other day, they were supposed to open schools in the middle of this crisis.
Yes.
And then they realized, no, we need to postpone this. It took them almost 18 hours to make that decision. Why? Because the minister is being micromanaged. The minister had to wait for State House to make that decision late in the night.
The minister released guidelines in the morning.
Yes.
And the president changed.
Look at what happened. What the minister said was different from what the deputy president said. And now we are told, because the president was not around, a decision could not be made until late at night. Children were already on the way. Some were stranded here in Nairobi. This is a very confused government. You know, Ken, it's not the enormity of the challenge we are facing. It's the enormity of the disorganization and the confusion in this government that is worrying us.
I want to talk about that more. You served in the cabinet. Defense, big ministry. Devolution, big ministry. I'd like to talk about that. But first, we'll take a short break. We'll be back with Eugene Wamalwa, leader of DAPK, at the top of the hour. But first, we take a break. ahead in business news, we have the proceedings at the ongoing Fertilizers Summit. Stay tuned.